break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Now I never been down with no OPP. I talk about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Hey, hey. Ride him. My mother always say, where you find a donkey? Ride it. Who's donkey? What? Come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand. But I can fix this, I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country. Ooh, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. I get everybody sells some every time. They're selling one island, yeah, they won't keep. What can be left for you and me? It's just an example, what's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride, or go selling too. Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha.
Whoa, girls, we out doing
Hey, public this immigration just cut my brother off. He's a fucking Bahamian. You all do that. You all do that. What? You all do that. They can't excel it.
Boss.
What? They do that.
Yo, stop.
You can't. You can't. Who can take my phone? Which one of these pussy on? They try to get next in the name. Go with that fucking squeezing it through.
Listen to me.
Wait, nigga punch me behind my head. Hold on, they ain't all they gotta ask for papers first. Papers first. Look at them. Look at them. They act sensible when they see us start recording. Yeah, you pussy. You right there. You beat my brother, you know. You. Just going on fucking Facebook. Just going on Facebook. Yeah, they start acting sensible when they start recording. Put that camera away, they start acting sensible when they start recording. They beat my brother. Lost that pussy. I got by what? Just going straight on Facebook.
They don't go again. Yeah, alright. That's what happened.
There ain't no illegal person in the back here.
Listen, there's always somebody. Listen. There's always somebody in charge.
And don't go to my door. Do not go to my door. Don't go in my house. Don't go in my house. Don't go in my house. Don't go to my door. Yeah, Jay, they want my skinny. I was in the house. I get one of the skinny bitch. I come in him now. He fucking freaking out, the pussy boy. Fucking animals. I want accents about when you start recording. Yeah. One try to take my phone because she said start recording. Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Yeah, what happened here?
You understand what he said? Let's go.
Yeah, you see, now you're leaving.
No constitution and the rights.
Let's go.
I get my lawyer and I know my rights.
Let me go post this shit on Facebook. Look. What was next? I was gonna shoot him in that house. I was gonna say they scared for their life. They scared for their life. They all scared. But they ain't never scared for what they're gonna do to people. I have to get this on camera.
Unfortunately, the populist voices out there have really sort of skewed this question of sovereign wealth fund. If you go to the genesis of this is basically where when major oil finds in these small jurisdictions with populations of less than 1 million, take for example the Kuwaiti sovereign fund, and the other smaller islands with major oil finds, they developed that to find a way not just to give out to people, but to invest on behalf of the country, right? And it's designed to assist the country in meeting its obligations to its citizenry. It does not necessarily mean that you get a dividend from a sovereign wealth fund. It will be many years before you could arrive to that position. We have, for example, our ongoing expenses to meet the obligations of government business, providing the services that's necessary for our people. It's in excess of $3 billion a year, right? We manage it through containing taxes. So if we find a way, if the funds are sufficient, we could find, we could rebate taxes, for example, because we still have to take care of our businesses. Right? And in a country like the Bahamas, or particularly small island developing states in the Caribbean, right? One catastrophic event in 1 year could wipe out our total GDP, right? I could give you examples of it right now in the Caribbean and Dominica and Puerto Rico. But just look at what Dorian did to us. We're still recovering from Dorian, $3.4 billion. So the exploitation, if I call it that, of our natural resources is just another form of creating revenue to assist the government in its business. Right? And hopefully we'll get surpluses. And hopefully when we do have surpluses, all the Bahamian citizens will be benefiting by perhaps paying lower taxes, by perhaps ensuring that each of their children, each of our children have proper access to healthcare, education, free of charge, for example. Those are some of the decisions that have to be made. But just to use this general sweeping, but the sovereign wealth fund, what does sovereign wealth fund mean? The sovereign wealth fund. So yes, eventually we may have a sovereign wealth fund. But what we have done is we set up a mechanism for funding to ensure that we can invest assets for return to again create further revenue streams to help us pay the country's bills, to help the country to provide the services that they're obligated to their citizenry. And so the time, you should be lending your voice to the exploitation of our resources for the purposes of taking care of our bills. And yes, if you reach a point where we could lower taxes, for example, we could provide more free services, government services, for example, because we have identified streams, because we have very effectively managed our resources. That's what it's all about. Many countries are exploiting their resources and don't have a sovereign wealth fund. Right? And they don't. Right? And so we don't even appreciate, we talk about natural resources, but what are our natural resources? And to what extent do they exist? What is the marketability of it? And where is the value added to those resources? Is it here? Could we capitalize ourselves sufficiently to exploit it? There's so many questions that has to be answered. And so I hear the populist chatter out there, which is very sexy. because yes, this country is doing that. But look at what that country's about. Look what they are exploiting, and so that's why I'm out there because most of our natural resources, right, are threatened by the existential threat, not threat anymore, but this what climate change has done. You talk about the coral reef and diseases. What you think of bringing that about? The warming of our seas. Why are our seas being warmed? Because of the greenhouse emissions. Right? What we should be talking about is how we could get reparations to make those countries who are responsible for the greenhouse emissions that has so impacted our way of life and climate change that they should pay us for having done those things. And that is where our voices should be.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry I had to make you sit through 6 minutes and 9 seconds of utter lies and nonsense. My humble apology, but it had to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I hope you had an amazing week like we have. I want to say a special happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there, to all of you. Um, we hope someone gave you a special day. That you didn't just have to sit at home and you had more than crab and rice. But if you had crab and rice, be grateful. But we hope that someone gave you a special, special Father's Day because you are important and you should mean a lot to some people. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the fathers are the bedrock of society. They are the foundation of society. And while we thank God for our mothers, we also have to make our fathers feel special. So, wow. Um, a blessed Father's Day to all of you. There are some great fathers out there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are in this world. The movement is growing, the movement is rising. We're getting calls every day. We're told that the PLP did a scientific poll recently. Senior PLP notified us of this. They did a scientific poll recently, and it shows them that the COI has gained significant ground. So they are terrified right now because the COI has gained significant ground, and that's based on their scientific poll that the PLP recently did. Yes, we are in all their meetings. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that shows that Bahamians are waking up, and it's because of you. You are spreading the word. They continue to have us blocked on media. They continue to put fake news and fake stories or any story that would make us look bad in the media, in the actual mainstream media. We understand them, doing certain things on social media, but mainstream media has joined them in these efforts to put fake news out there. The latest one being our news, putting some story out there about me squatting in a building. It's sometimes we sit down and we have a good laugh over all of this stuff. And what shocked me about that story was that even after the police told the reporter that it's not true, after the person injured told him that that's not true, and then they still went with that story because that's what they were paid to do. So our media is being sold out right now. They are selling themselves, and the government is controlling them. And so they're going to continue with this stuff. They are desperate. The PLP, realizing that their scientific poll says that the COI is gaining ground, no matter what they try with their old weapons. So old weapons in politics is you just throw as much mud as possible and hope it sticks. Well, for some reason, it isn't sticking. It's coming off our backs like water off a duck's back. And so we are continuing on, and we're not going to let anything distract us in this day and time because we are woke. And again, all of this is happening because of you. You are spreading the word and you are spreading the message. We are also informed by persons within the FNM that the FNM has hired a PR company out of Atlanta to try to help them. We are told that they've spent about $250,000 for this effort, and that is to counter the problem of the COI, as they call it. They see that the COI is normally when the government is in power and people disaffect from the government, they normally would go to the opposition or stay home and don't vote. But what they're seeing happen is that no one is disaffecting to the FNM. Everyone is disaffecting to the COI. And that is disturbing the FNM, and they're worried about that. And so they are concerned that the election won't just swing as it normally does. And so there's an anomaly, and that anomaly is called the COI. And so it is causing a disruption, as they call it in politics and business. We have disrupted the political landscape, and that's why everything they're talking about is what they're hearing the COI talk about. We are already governing this country. We are already governing this country. And so you might as well just let us take over. But we just have a few days more in order to get a few years more to get this together and take this country back. We are going to be ready and waiting on them. And so the FNM is spending big money. The PLP is spending big money. What they're going to do is they're going to try to eventually come together. Right? They're going to work together to get rid of that threat called the COI because they know that their gravy train is going to be over. And so over the next couple of weeks and couple of months, they're going to go on an attack campaign against the COI. They're going to paint me as this rowdy, belligerent person who's not intelligent, just goes out there, rows and fight. They're going to do the same thing with Maria. But people who know that is not the truth, but we know when to stand up and fight. But we have the most intelligent conversations. No leaders in other parties have the kind of intellectual conversations that we are able to have. And that's why the intellectuals, the academia of this country are being drawn to us every day because they realize that we don't just talk without proof. We don't talk without research. We're not like those previous recent PMs like Minutes and those who were just babbling on ABC 1, 2, 3 and Brave Davis with you're safe because you're going to do the things that make you safe and we're going to get whistles for the women and we can have intellectual conversations at any level. And so this is what makes a difference. But again, you, my fellow Bahamians, are the difference makers. You are the ones talking to your family, talking to your friends. You got to get like Grammy back in the 60s. You got to tell your family what to do. And I know we have to get to a point where we let them make their own decisions, that kind of stuff, but this one is critical. Your country is at stake. And so we have to take this seriously. We have to take this serious. Talk to your family, talk to your friends. Many of them are still asleep. Don't give up. The PLP's only remedy is going to be to try to badmouth me and say a bunch of things about me and attack and say, oh, Lincoln is no good. And what do they say? Lincoln is a crook and this kind of stuff. And this is their only strategy. And so we have to focus on the New Bahamas. We have to talk to our family and friends and let them know that we're tired of the real crooks. We're tired of being robbed by these politicians, by the FNM and PLP. And so I'm going to get to dealing with Philip Brave Davis and that nonsensical thing that he did. Time to drop some documents again. We're going to drop some documents and show Philip Brave Davis how idiotic his speech in the House of Assembly was. We're going to show him documents. Yep, we're dropping documents today. But before we drop those documents, we have to show you a reveal from a sting. Our country is under invasion, ladies and gentlemen. Our country is under invasion. And the invasion continues. You will remember that the government, after we went and did the protest at the office of the Prime Minister, when they refused to let us come into the office or let me come to the office, we put some demands down. And as a result of those demands, the Prime Minister, the government, said that they were going to stop all work permits, which is one of our 10 demands, our 10-point demands. They're going to stop all work permits from Haiti. That's what they said. But we know the trick that they did, which was that they started giving permits to reside, which doesn't have to go through any process. They can just give it to who they want, and that's what they started to do. But also, the work permits, it appears now, are still going. And so we receive some information. We receive a sting operation where someone decided to speak to one of the culprits who's involved in this, and they decided that this needed to be exposed. Now, Since I originally spoke to this person who was involved in the sting operation, they got a cold shoulder. They started to say, well, they have children. These people are dangerous. They can hurt you. They don't want their children to be at risk, because Bahamians ain't serious. Bahamians, are cowards and they're not ready, to come and stand out. And, why throw yourself under the bus to protect Bahamians because they ain't serious. They're not showing up. And I told them, we have to stand up. It doesn't matter if every other Bahamian is a coward. If you know that it's the right thing to do, then you go out there. You have to be like the 300 in that movie. The whole nation said, we can't go. We have to stay home. And Leonidas and a few good men went out and said, well, we're going to sacrifice our lives to save our nation. And that is exactly what they did. And they put up a good fight. They put up a good fight, except for one traitor. There's always a traitor. One traitor who showed the enemy how to get around them. Otherwise, they would have won that battle because they had a genius plan. But there's always one traitor. And there are Bahamians who are betraying this country right now. There are traitors who are selling our country out, selling their souls for a few dollars. There's always a Judas selling out for a contract, for a little job here and there. There's always a Judas. And there are Judases aiding and abetting the invasion of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the person who originally did this, he said that he didn't want to do it anymore. I told him I would disguise the voices in there and I would move forward. And that is what I'm doing. So I disguised the voices. The conversation I had with him was to disguise his voice, so that they don't know who he is, because he's afraid of, because there's a criminal underworld that's going on. There's a lot of money being made in this. And he wanted me to disguise his voice. And when he called back and said, he's afraid, I told him that I would disguise both voices. But the Bahamas must hear what is in this video, his audio. The Bahamas must hear this. What I did was I cut it down from just under 20 minutes to 12 minutes. So all of the personal conversations I cut out, and I cut some things out to save for later and see what the government's response is. But of course, we need to call the immigration department and report all of the people named in this audio, all of the companies named in this audio. We need to take a stand, Bahamas. So take down the names, and all of you, flood them with calls tomorrow about this. Flood the news media with calls tomorrow about this. And let's see what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 12 minutes of shocking audio. I may cut in and out as I'm hearing certain things, or I may just let it play. Ladies and gentlemen, we are under invasion, and they have found tricky ways to do this. You think they're coming on boat, which they are, but they are coming on plane, and they already have a cartel in place with connections in immigration, etc., in order to make this work. They're coming on airplanes. I want you to see exactly how it's done. If you haven't shared this yet, please take a moment to share this in WhatsApp, etc., etc. Tag some of your family and friends right here, and let's get to it. So for the person who's involved in this and decided that they wanted to chicken out, they didn't want to be able to hear this, etc., etc., this is a matter of national importance. And so some things have held back, but some things the Bahamians must hear this, and we must stand up, Bahamas. I'm not finished with this immigration issue because we are under attack. We'll continue to stand up. Before I play this, there's a political prostitute that is trying to focus now on this homosexual thing. They're trying to scare people to say that the government is trying to put certain books in our schools and that kind of stuff. That is not the truth. The government has never said that they're going to put these homosexual books in the school, etc. While I don't like a lot of the things that I see in the media, on TV, on Netflix, these other kinds of stuff, um, the government is actually using this homosexual talk to distract you. And there's some people planning a rally on Saturday. Listen, don't waste your time with distractions. Because while they know you're going to focus on talking about these transsexuals, these homosexuals, these other people that have no place in the New Bahamas, in our financial institution, whatever people want to do in their homes, that's what they will do in their homes. But keep away from our children, and they will not be allowed. There will be no same-sex marriage and that kind of stuff in the New Bahamas. It will not happen. I say that to say they're trying to distract you because they don't want you talking about the scandals of the PLP. Notice how everyone was talking about these scandals that was being revealed, these contracts and the blunders of the government, et cetera, et cetera. Now they're trying to get you to talk about homosexuality to distract you. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. You don't have time to waste. And so this political troll went from the FNM to being paid by the PLP the last time to form a fake coalition of independents to distract people and try to take some of our votes. It didn't work, and it will not work again. And so its cash is short, and he's unable to do a rally and say, you know, the BDM is having a rally, everybody come out. He's unable to do that. So working for the PLP, trying to distract people, he's trying to have a rally about homosexuality and hope that it draws a crowd. Okay? And so he's right now trying to hire some artists, some musicians. Someone told him to go look for solo, or go, you know, they gave him the number for Gino D and some other people, because they went from a protest to having a rally now. That's what they're calling it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stay focused on our sovereign wealth fund. They wasn't talking about that until we put it down their throat. Stay focused on your children benefiting in the future. We are close. They don't want this to happen. And so they're going to attack Lincoln Bain, Maria, and all of our people, and they're going to try to distract you. Stay focused on the New Bahamas. Stay focused. All of these other clowns out there, you mean to tell me Cassius couldn't protest when they were stealing our natural resources, couldn't protest over immigration, none of that kind of stuff, but you're protesting over homosexuals? You don't want to fight the government who's stealing everything from us, but you want to fight sissies. I will not be going to no rally with no one who was in a compromising position in Brazil. And I said that. Because it wasn't against, I'll leave that there. Ladies and gentlemen, stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. If children was important, you wouldn't have been in Brazil with that boy. I don't want to go there. Ladies and gentlemen, do not let these political prostitutes distract you. We must protect our children, but we must protect our children from poverty, from the invasion of our country. Our children are losing their position in jobs. Our young men, every single Haitian in this country is employed. Every single one is employed. And our Bahamians are suffering. And you tell me you want to go fight sissies? Our children need protection for their future. Our sovereign wealth fund is right at our fingertips for every Bahamian to benefit. We don't have to beg no more. We don't have to suffer no more. We don't have to worry about the light bill, because the light bill will be high for everyone else, not us. We don't have to worry about healthcare. You all stay focused. Brave don't want you to have this, but I can have that conversation afterwards, rather than been going for half hour. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is under invasion. I release this in the public interest, in the best interest of the public. This is a Haitian man who basically is calling himself a Haitian slave master. He is getting work permits of Haitian people like crazy. I edited the voice with AI technology so that it changes the voice. But he is a deportee. Well, not necessarily a deportee, but he was living in the States and then he went to Haiti and then he came to the Bahamas. All right. And so he has this kind of American accent. He's talking to a Bahamian person. Ladies and gentlemen, this is serious.
John talk English so good to me.
Hey, my cousin told me she talk English. I ain't teach her.
They tell me to look good.
Yeah, my cousin, he said she talk English. Where she put my cane?
See a daughter right there. See a daughter right there.
She put it, no,
So what I saying is right. How much you say she's charged?
she charged. Dear God and people, are you listening?
They tell me the air, Citadel Air.
Citadel Air.
Yeah. You say
She charters Southern Air, Western Air. She charters Bahamas Air. But the name of her business is Citadel Air.
Well,
Citadel is like a
plane.
No, like they chartered, they pay the Bahamians
Yeah.
to charter that shit 3 times a week for 3 different type of planes just to bring Haitians in. And visas $100, but you'd rather just for 3 months. But she charged $3,000.
Visa? Me visa. What kind of visa?
A Bahamian visa, it's only $100 for
Bahamian visa for what? You mean to come here?
Yeah.
Oh, she was the French colony.
Let me take a little break right there. They're talking about a specific woman who is big. The last name is Sanadas. And they're saying that this woman charges a lot of money and she's big in this whole thing. All right. And they're now discussing how this happens and how much money is being made for each person. So not only do they come on the plane and get the visa, but once they come with the visa, then they have to get the work permit, and they're getting the work permits here. And they're paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for these work permits, and they're talking about this woman who does that. But they're saying that this company is called Citadel Air. Citadel Air is a company on Ross Corner and Ross Corner at Williams Plaza. All right, and Citadel Air is an airline that doesn't have an airplane. But what they do is they lease airplanes. They lease Pineapple Air, Bahamas Air, etc. And they lease these so that they can have an airline without having an airplane. And they are the ones bringing in these Haitian flights all week. They also lease Bahamas Air. All right? They are bringing these Haitians in all week. And so their part now, it's nothing illegal that they're doing by bringing them in. They're leasing our Bahamian planes. And so they're using this to flood. This is not the airline, but it's being used to flood our country with these people. And then once they get in, that's when the work scheme happens. I'm going to go back just a little bit, just in case you miss something in there. Just you hear this again. In fact, I'm going to start it over.
John talk English so good to me.
Hey, my cousin told me she talk English. I ain't teach her.
They tell me to look good.
Yeah, my cousin, he said she talk English. Where she put my cane?
See a daughter right there. See a daughter right there.
She put it, no,
So what I saying is right. How much you say she's charged?
she charged. Dear God and people, are you listening?
They tell me the air, Citadel Air.
Citadel Air.
Yeah. You say
She charters Southern Air, Western Air. She charters Bahamas Air. But the name of her business is Citadel Air.
Well,
Citadel is like a
plane.
No, like they chartered, they pay the Bahamians
Yeah.
to charter that shit 3 times a week for 3 different type of planes just to bring Haitians in. And visas $100, but you'd rather just for 3 months. But she charged $3,000.
Visa? Me visa. What kind of visa?
A Bahamian visa, it's only $100 for
Bahamian visa for what? You mean to come here?
Yeah.
Oh, she was the French colony. No, it's not a British colony.
Yeah, 100. And Jamaicans are free, but
Jamaicans, are you sure? They have to pay. Yeah, because I didn't.
yeah, but they still have to pay work permit when they get
Yeah,
in.
I know. See, I have a Jamaican guy who used to do a post, and I used to bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to pay them to bring him. I used to pay immigration, and then he'll just pay me back when he work in the shop.
Yeah, but that's how you gotta
So
do
they
it.
gone up on it because he's not a labor, he's a skilled person. So they try to go up a lot.
Yeah,
And
no,
he's
that's why
skilled
you
top
gotta
of the
bring him
combination.
in as an unskilled person, which is fee skill. There's 9 skills. Fee skill number 8. So they don't charge you 7. He's an artist. He's an
I was paying like
upholsterer.
$3,000 to bring him.
Not a well,
But
upholsterer.
it gone,
It's 5,000 to 6,000.
Yeah, I said before, that's what I saying. That's what they gone up to now, 5 to 7,000.
I checked that.
5 to 7,500.
Because they're skilled.
The process fee, I think is $250.
200 now. It's 200.
Process
But
fee.
you gotta pay.
Well, that nigga probably robbed me because I pay a process fee for $250.
Nah, but
What I saying is,
he did
all
drop
right,
you $50.
What I saying is, right? See that building there? They used to have a dance there. I know where that is. But what I saying is, suppose she try to rob me.
She's downstairs. No, then you call me. I'll pull up because my cousin tried to.
You tell me $4,000.
No, that's what they. Why don't you just let me sign for this shit? I got an immigration officer directly in there. So if I need to push it in quicker, I could tip them. It's fuck them. I tip the fucking immigration nigga $200-300.
I forget Jerry last name. I forget Jerry last.
Ladies and gentlemen, that man just said he could tip the immigration officer $200-300. $200 to $300. He tipped the immigration officer to get it done. You heard that with your own ears. This is what's happening in our country. And so he said, listen, let me do it for you. I got my immigration officer in there. Let us continue.
He need a passport.
So you get deported from America, man. Jerry got passport.
It doesn't matter. All them Haitian
money.
niggas.
Jerry links. If I tell you people in Florida, I have to be keeping them straight.
Yeah.
What I can do is, one of my budget, he got one of my budget being 80 cents, so I'm calling him.
I'll sign him like I hired him as a handyman. So if he with you, that's what my company's about. I could hire him as a handyman. My company's about any Bahamian who needs service instead of hiring illegal laborers. I'm the one who has Bahamians, Jamaicans, Haitians, and I'm the one who do their work permits if they're not up here. So they could choose. You can't jail me because they say when you have a work permit, you're going to work for one person. My company, I'm an agent, so you can work for any. You understand? So they don't try to be like, oh, where's your boss? You call me. I'm gonna say, yeah. He paid me for months for him. And yeah, I contracted. Yeah, this is exquisite hospitality's handyman and
so they give you a business license.
Before he says the name of that company again, did you hear what he just said? He said he has an agency. And so he can bring in as many Haitians as he wants. And they're working for the agency, so it doesn't have to be under a specific person that you're working for. He's saying because his company covers so many things and is covered as an agency, that he can basically have persons come in, and you can't pinpoint him to say, oh, you work for this company, but your work permit says you're supposed to work for this person, so you lock up. No, he's saying that they got that covered because he has an agency. You see the trick? Let's continue.
Business license say?
Exquisite Hospitalities, Handyman and Maid Services is the name, trademark name. So that means it's a home-based business license where I literally don't even have to have an office where I can work from home. And because I'm not supposedly making $100,000 turnover, they didn't charge me. I don't have to pay VAT.
I don't, and my mom is living,
Handyman and Maid Services is my company. I'm an agent, so you can work for any. You understand? So they don't try to be like, oh, where's your boss? You call me.
I'm sorry there wasn't any audio just now. I was just explaining what he said, that they're an agency, and so they are people that they hire can work for anybody. And he said that they supposedly don't make $100,000 supposedly, so they don't even have to pay taxes or VAT or any of those stuff. They don't have to be VAT registered, etc. That's how these Haitians are doing it. I'll continue.
I say, yeah, he paid me for months for him. Yeah, I contracted, yeah. This is exquisite hospitalities handyman and
so you give your business license. What did the business license say?
Exquisite hospitalities handyman and maid services is the name, trademark name. So that means it's a home-based business license where I literally don't even have to have an office where I can work from home. And because I'm not supposedly making $100,000 turnover, they didn't charge me. I don't have to pay VAT.
I don't. And my mom is living, this business would have been making that and more, right? But
Yeah.
since she died, I'm not grossing 100,000 a year. Before the pandemic, I might have been close to that, but I lose a lot of business with Atlantis. And one or two little other businesses with hospitality. They closed down, right? And the people who used to give me the work, they no longer work in these departments. So I don't have the hookup. Like people who know me, they would say, yeah. Front man. What I'm saying is, people who work in certain restaurants and certain like Kids Adventure and Russian, certain restaurants, they're not there anymore. So they're not gonna call me when they want to work. The new person's gonna call someone they know and they're interested.
Can I say something my company's about? If y'all need workers, whatever business here, or residential or commercial, call me. I got a roster of people that you could choose, pick, and refuse from.
Hey, then here.
Most of them gonna start from here, but some people like to say, I want this Jamaican to work for me, 75 Jamaicans, and they already got work for me.
Yeah.
For my company. I'm a contractor of laborers.
Yeah.
It's not like a slave master, but I'm like, I got all the slaves. You need the slaves for this house.
Yeah, so what do you mean? So they didn't have the work permit or they didn't here? Not all.
The one?
Yeah, all of them in here?
You see my cousin right there?
Yeah.
I got the documents, but he got the money. So he started it off. He paid the business consultant so I could start it off. Man, I got the documents. I ain't got the money.
Yeah.
But that's why me and him, he got a smart mindset. And I can't get along with any and everybody. If you see I talk to somebody, my spirit go with that person.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because some people, you try to be nice to them.
I still to keep it real, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I already know.
But with me, right?
So look, see, that's why this is the first time out of 16 years I did this. See, she's a Bahamian, but she's born in Haiti. Even the Haitian Bahamians, like I told you, if they did that for me, I gotta tell the government, thank God, boy. You see that? Look.
Yeah, but you tell me, say the passport, she born in Haiti.
Yeah, but she's not Haitian no more. She's Haitian, but she...
Yeah, I know. That says... Tell her to like her. That says she born in Haiti.
You'll see. Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
At this point, he's showing how strong his connections and his know-how is, that his daughter was able to get a Bahamian passport, even though she was born in Haiti in Port-au-Prince. So at this point, he's showing the daughter's passport. The daughter is right there. But he's showing the daughter's passport to show, listen, I got my daughter straight, and this is what I did. I did this, I did that, I did the next thing. And he's bragging about it.
Place of birth.
Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Yeah.
Nationality.
5th October 2019.
She just turned, she's 3. See? Well, my passport expired in Haiti. I took this picture in Haiti, and they sent this from Nassau. See, look.
To the embassy?
Yeah. And
so the embassy, she get this from the embassy?
No, here. They sent my embassy, she had to come here. They gave her an emergency travel document. So she hopped on the plane with no Haitian passport. So in 2 days, for 25 US, they gave me hers. I only paid 50 for mine like every other time.
No, for the passport.
That man just said in 2 days, she was able to get a passport. In 2 days. And all he paid was $25. In 2 days. Any of y'all ever got your passport in 2 days? Any of you? in 2 days. Let's continue.
For the passport? How much you pay for this passport?
25.
100
$25. $25, yeah.
No, how much you get? How much you pay for the citizenship?
I didn't pay. What I did in Haiti was legalize her mom documents, my marriage certificate, her mom birth certificate, and translated them, and did a DNA test and gave it to the embassy. They sent it to NASA. NASA sent it back within the same week. And so
you born here in the Bahamas?
Yeah, my mom too, but my mom grew up in Haiti.
So this your child?
Yeah.
Some mother's Haitian?
Yeah. Her mom never been here. We've been married for 6 years.
In Florida?
No. In Haiti. She never traveled to Haiti, Florida, Dominican, nothing. She's 30-something.
So you was living in Haiti. You was between Haiti and Florida?
No, I haven't been to Florida since 2007. From 2007 till now.
So they deport you back to Haiti then?
No, I went to Haiti. How would they would have said?
No, I mean I was wondering like
deport me back here before they was trying to deport me.
So your baby mother ain't never come here to live? That's what I said.
That's my second baby mama. None of them.
So you big up in Haiti?
Yeah.
You go overseas on a visit?
Because the first two kids. My dad, I just met him at the age of 26. I'm 36 now. So when my white American wife divorced me, I said, man, fuck that. I ain't marrying no fucking white girl. I gotta be with my black kind.
Yeah.
And just going back and forth to Haiti.
Going wild.
When they see I come today, regardez bien, mais qui sont nassau. I said, yeah, he's so nassau.
Oh, yeah, from you living in Nassau, he's a superstar.
What? Yo, once you ain't born in Haiti, and you're born, especially in Nassau.
Tell me something, the Asian people,
they nice. My mom
don't like one another.
One beer so me and my cousin could drink because we live like brothers. This is my real cousin, but we actually just now meeting from when I came here 2 months ago.
Take that.
Me, him, and the tattoo artist. Life a fuck up nigga. But I don't disrespect him. I let him talk.
Who's Life?
The nigga who do the Haitian deportee who got the restaurant that has the tattoo shop inside of it. Him and Lucky J. Right there by the yellow breakfast stand. You know the yellow breakfast stand?
Yeah, I see the little
Woods Alley.
Yeah, I see the tattoo place right there.
That has the restaurant where all the Haitian ladies. Yeah. He asked me for a favor before I even got the business license, right? He told me to sign for the girls who's inside of there. I said,
sign for them for wait for me?
Yeah, but I told him I ain't got a business license. He born here. He got deported from the States straight to Haiti. He had to come back here for $4,000. My cousin born in Haiti. He paid the same price.
We paid $4,000 to come back here.
Same lady. Madam Senatus for the past 30 years.
They deported me and then he come here?
Yeah.
Oh. So how come they deported me people on here?
Because they do that to a lot of Haitian Bahamians.
But they deport a lot of them here too.
Because there's certain rules that they try to...
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So some of them, when you go on, they support you back here, Jimmy. No. You saying something you want to say, support some of you back here?
They ain't do it to me, and they couldn't do it to me. You know why?
They do it to my Asian American girlfriend.
No, because his parents did everything straight. When their parents
came in... I think our mom was a Bahamian, I think. She's a Thompson, so our mom would have been a Bahamian.
Yeah.
But she still's Asian. Because all of
like my mom who born here in 65 before independence, her both parents are Haitians. Yeah. But actually she's a Bahamian because...
independence.
Yes. But there's certain things which I see, which is implicated in the law, like I seen. Chapter 2, Article 7, which is in the Bahamian Constitution. It says, if neither of your parents are born here, and you're born after 1979.
72.
I mean, 1979, you know, sorry. It says you're entitled to your citizenship. When I try to tell them that, they try to jump me three because they asked me how I got her shit.
But the government is not obligated.
No, I told them.
At the age of 6 years.
Yeah.
But they're not obligated to give it to you.
No, I know.
Because there's some key things that like
can I say something?
You say, right?
They have to give them see, because of the business that's going on, they don't give them the right to denounce. That's the problem. And see, that's what's coming onto the States.
They don't do that.
No, they don't do that.
Yeah. And the embassy want the power to do that.
No, they don't want to do shit. Haitians get fucked up. They don't even want to come over here in the detention center to tell them, okay, let our citizens go. Haitian fucking embassy fucked up. I'm telling you.
Everything is money over it. Yeah, anything is money now.
That's my cousin calling me. I'm going to tell him. He probably thinks something happened. Jude. Yeah, I'm talking to Sus. Sorry about that. About the business thing that I was mainly doing. Sorry about that. No, I'm talking to Sus about the business thing. I'm here with the baby. I'm okay. This is my cousin, Jude. The same money she charged for a visa, that's what happened with this company. I'm gonna be her alternative company.
Charge for
company.
visa, the traveling thing, huh?
Yeah, like how I'm gonna work, whatever the permit.
So you're saying even the woman will travel thing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm charge for visa.
He is now talking to his connect, his cousin Jude. That sounds like a good pronunciation. He's talking to his connect, who is the real connect and who he's partnering with all of this, so that he can assist this person who is doing this thing. Let them know that, the business thing, he's talking to them now. And so the person called to check on him while he was doing this business thing. So that's what happened just now. All right.
No, she charged people 5,000, 5,000. When a visa costs 100, me as a Bahamian could just sign for the $100 visa up there on Hawkins Hill, and then they will come through. And while he's waiting for the work permit, they said not on a visa for him to wait, and I got people in there that'll let him wait here for his work permit while he on the visa. I'm telling you, people want to see. I'm a good nigga. You understand? And you see my daughter going here, and she got a Bahamian passport. All that. My mom had to hold it for 6 months. She took her
your
money.
daughter born Haiti and get a Bahamian passport.
Yeah, and he been here with my mom married all that time, and he never. Man, you know how them people go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm repeating what I said before because the sound was on. You just heard an interview with a monster. You heard an interview with a person who is selling out our country and destroying our country and making a lot of money doing so. At the end of that conversation, you heard him talking about this woman. They said named Sonatus, who was making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 from these persons. They give you that visa. Sorry, not the visa. They give you the work permit while you are here on visa. A country is in trouble, and the government is aiding and abetting in this. So if you're wondering why I don't have time to be talking about those sissies and going and marching about sissies, this is it. Now, if the government ever dream and actually put any kind of homosexual book in our schools, or even make any statement that they intend to do so, then that'll be a different story. We go to war with them. They haven't done so at this time. We don't have time to waste with distractions. Ladies and gentlemen, what you heard is just one of the audios that we have. We have more. And we cut that down by half almost. There's more. Our country is in trouble. Okay? And so this Citadel Air, they're saying is leasing Southern Air, Western Air, and Bahamas Air. And they are bringing them in while you're sleeping. And these people have a racket where once they come in on visa, and then they get their work permits while they're here. Now, Keith Bell needs to explain what this man is talking about. How are they able to still get a work permit? And he says he has a whole brood of slaves that are just sitting down waiting for jobs. He could give you whatever job you need. He could get the people in. He has to hook up. He could speed up anything by paying $200 or $300 to an immigration officer. To all of my immigration officers, $200 or $300. Please, don't sell our country for $200, $300. Because see, when you allow that foreigner in to do a job a Bahamian young man could do, and the Bahamian young man can't get a job, he's going to come rob you for your $1,000 phone. So yeah, you got $200-300, but he's coming to rob you for your $1,000 phone. He's coming to break in your house. He's coming to take your $20,000 car because you caused it. Well, let's wake up and let's do sense with our country. Our country's in trouble. I can open the phone lines. I'm going to open the phone lines, and then I'm going to talk about that Brave Davis thing. So we'll do 2 hours today, unless you want to do more. But I'm going to open the phone lines, let you talk about this, and then we're going to talk about that idiotic speech in House of Assembly, that criminal speech that I warned all of you about before election. I told you what Brave Davis told me, and now he's doing it. I told you he said that everything I said about the natural resources, the sovereign wealth fund, everything is true about the carbon credits. But he said, you can't give it to the people because they ain't need you. That's the words he told me. I told you all that before election. He never denied it. I told you all that. That he's going to take it from you all, and that's exactly what he did. And you all still voted for him. He's just begun the process of raping and robbing the Bahamian people. I just take a quick commercial break so I could get to the phone lines. Quick commercial break. So y'all could tell me what y'all think about what y'all just heard, and then we could reveal some more.
Yeah. Come down, DJ, and do your thing.
Prophet in the house.
Hey.
Yeah,
Prophet on the scene.
Yeah.
Hey. This is going out to all Bahamians all around this world. Hey. Whoa. Let my people go. This is going out to all Bahamians all around this world. Hey. I want the PLP to let my people go. Whoa, I'm just sitting down right here, waiting on that old bell to ring. I'm just sitting down right here, waiting on that old bell to ring. PLP go ring the bell. Watch the PLP go to L. Brave go and ring the bell. Watch the PLP go to L. Yo, 50 years and nothing not changed. The people living in poverty, and every day murder in this country. And PLP them not do a thing. Them give the foreigners everything. Them only taking over our damn land and country. Look what them do to Miss Curry and take over her land and thing. And Brave Davis him not do a thing. Him let the immigrants take over everything. I don't have fish fry, man, them own everything. We got to bring change in this country, yo. I'm just sitting down right here, waiting on that old bell to ring. I'm just sitting down right here, waiting on that old bell to ring. PLP go ring the bell. Watch the PLP go to L. Brave go and ring the bell. And watch the PLP go to L. Yo, hey, hey, Marvin James, tell me the truth. What happened to the throne, their money? And the PLP MP them, they mix up in like a damn problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue there. Thank all of you for tuning in. That is the Prophet. We love the Prophet. He goes live every single day. All right, and so the phone line is open. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. Call us. What do you think? Before we start talking about this Brave Davis thing, what do you think about what you just witnessed? Do you have any questions? Call in now. Make sure we have the sound up on this so you can hear. All right, let's make sure everyone can call in. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. All right, call in. Good afternoon. You are live.
Good night, my brother. How you doing?
I am alive.
Thank God. Listening to this video, I am sick to my stomach.
Wow.
I'm sick to my stomach. It's so sad. I don't know when my Bahamian people is going to shut this country down. They don't but ring the bell. We have the right to take him out our country, out our House of Assembly.
Yeah.
Right now, the gentleman, a Bahamian guy who breed over 30 pigs that was stationed by next to Sandals at our beach access. That is being shut down. It is alleged saying that Sandals said it's a hazard, it's a health hazard and all sorts of things, and it's been shut down since last week. So
well, I'll tell you what happened with that. I spoke to the gentleman when it happened, and I promised him to go live on Sunday, but it turns out Sunday was Father's Day, and so I didn't get to go live with him. I spoke to him while the police was there talking to him. He has all of his licenses. He has all of his license permit from the police. He has his business license. He has everything to do what he is doing, and he's being harassed. All right, this administration is using the police force like their Gestapo, and so everything that affects Brave Davis and his people, they're using the police to attack people like they did with Mr. Aaron on the property out west the other day. But of course, it didn't work that time. Now with this swimming pigs, this is a serious scandal that we have to pay attention to. There are some foreigners along with PLPs who are making money from swimming pigs. You can't even get a license now with a name with pigs in it. That's how serious they're taking this stuff now. Go try, get the name pig in your name. Any name any business you want to do. He had to change his business. The gentleman you're talking about, the name of his business, because the license office came back and harassed him to change his name from Pigs and Pirates or something like that he had. And they made him take the pigs out of it, and he had to do a totally different name. What happened is, there's this German guy called Herman the German who was actually doing the swimming pigs on I think it's Pearl Island. Him and his other partner or acolyte, whoever it is, his name is Florian Mueller. And this other Peter guy who's in the papers the other day talking about RCL is going to be good for the Bahamas. But they are controlling these pigs thing on the islands, on right off of Nassau, and so they've partnered. So Al Corley, who's a well-known PLP, he got a lease for Crown land. How he got it, we don't know, because in the papers they say he owed taxes and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, he got it. And he leased the beach, the island, to this Herman the German fellow. So the Herman German fellow is releasing from Al Corley. And so that's where the partnership is. And so Al Corley is a big PLP. And now Herman, somehow he got a passport. I mean, I don't know. Listen, PLP in power. But somehow he got a passport now. And so he's doing his own thing over there also, but he's partnered with a family member of Brave Davis. They said it's his son or his nephew, or both. And he's partnering with Brave Davis' family member. And so this is how they're able to operate this pig thing. And so they are harassing everyone across the country who is doing the pig thing, because they're now partnered with Brave. Now, this guy used to work with all the West Coast when the other government was in to do his corruption or his foolishness as a foreigner. And now he's braved them in, so now he's partnering directly with Brave them to make this money. Also, remember the operator of the, I'll say it like that, of the Office of the Prime Minister is Jerome Fitzgerald, and he has a pigs arrangement with Atlantis. All right, and one of his staff members have informed that they are making about $80,000 a day. So they're not playing with this. All right, they're making $80,000 a day. A day. It's Jerome Fitzgerald, who's in charge of the Office of the Prime Minister. And also Sandals, we are told, has an arrangement to send their people over to Herman and German and them on the island. And this is why they're making sure their people aren't exposed to the swimming pigs that's right there that that gentleman has. His swimming pigs, I know I talking long, but I have to explain this to the Bahamian people. His swimming pigs thing is very organized. The pigs don't.
Exactly.
The
He
pigs.
breeds them.
Yes, they are trained. They never bite anybody. Like you see, all other swimming pigs, they are biting people. They don't stool. They don't stool in the area. He brings them in every day. They don't live there. He brings them in every day. They don't leave any mess there because they're trained. They use the bathroom at home. It's crazy.
Exactly. They even have a nap time. This guy have his biggest pay, I think it's like 900 pounds.
Yes, it's a monster.
He sleeps with them so they would not be afraid of lightning, different stuff. He's well trained.
Yes.
And it hurts me, man, because we carry people to there because one of the guests said that, hey, they went over to one paradise island and they bite them. Even the ones that even like Soma say they bite them.
Yeah.
But that one, they were in their glory because their children was able to have a good time.
Yes.
And he is the most organized one in Nassau right now.
And the pigs take pictures with you. They actually take pictures with you. They don't bite you. That's all they do. They take pictures with you and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bahamians wake up, we are being disenfranchised every day.
All right, gotta run.
All right, take care.
So I just wanted you to know all of that. So that's this same Herman fella he has bragged to me personally about taking about 30 properties in Nassau, just taking 30 properties. All right. And he said he removed the trespassers, talking about Bahamians now. The trick they do is let me just get the line first and I'll do something. But I'm gonna be standing with me. So you may be hearing more about that. But Bahamians to stand up. I'm tired of this. And I'm willing to go down with any Bahamians. Just like I handcuffed myself to prayer investigate to see all the victims and stood with them. I'm standing with Mr. Aaron because I see his papers and I believe his family is entitled. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bain. I'm touching bases with you. I'm trying to get a clear understanding of this thing Chester Cooper was talking about coming downtown. Bahamians, only certain people could come downtown. What is that all about?
That is the PLP being the PLP, the new PLP. The ideology of the old PLP is gone. He's trying to say everyone ain't welcome downtown. You know, and
that's what I'm trying to say.
Those words should never come out of his mouth. He's saying that prostitutes aren't welcome. He classified it. He said prostitutes aren't welcome, beggars and those kind of people he was describing. Vagabonds, these kinds of people. I need Chester to understand that it doesn't matter if someone is a prostitute. They have a right to go anywhere in this country. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying that they should solicit while they're downtown, but you can't tell people they can't come downtown. That's a public place.
The whole PLP party is being prejudiced because they give to who they feel like giving to. And I understand also that the feeding network, they don't give you, they cut down on the food what they used to give to people because they're giving the Haitians and all the other foreigners food.
Wow.
And that should not be.
Yeah, it is true.
Somebody told me that.
Yeah.
And the Bahamians are being iced out or irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because they have to please these certain crowds. And also, the march, the rally, or whatever it is, it's a good gesture, but I want you to know something. I on hearsay on this one, but this Stuart man is running for the F&M. So you all be careful. Everybody have a hidden agenda. What is the hidden agenda behind it?
He ran for the F&M before. Him and Adrian Francis and those was funded by the PLP the last time to form a fake coalition party. I don't know if you remember what they did.
I feel like still being funded.
And yes, they are still being funded, and they're trying to find some way to get traction. So they're trying to use this whole homosexual talk to gain traction so that they can, because right now the government don't see anything that they can do with us. They've tried everything. They've tried to slander me with lies and all this kind of stuff. They've attacked and they've locked us up, done everything, and it is not working. And so the only thing that they're praying that they can do is form another third party and hope that they can steal some of our votes.
I see that. my ears to the ground. I hear that, so that information is correct. Also, my thing is, at the end of the day, we're being taxed everywhere, right into the corner, into the wall. We're being squeezed so tight. The Bahamian people are being squeezed so tight, and everybody else get away. What I need to find out from you, Lincoln, what is our end game? What are we gonna do now to get these people out? Because obviously their heads are in the clouds. They don't put their heads to the ground. They don't know what the Bahamians are feeling. So they really don't care too. From the prime minister go down, and he think everybody's stupid talking about, oh, it gotta go to build talks and heck, that's our thing, the teething.
Yeah, the teething.
Ain't nothing gonna change.
I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll talk about that in a minute.
And all of them sitting up and letting him do what he wants, because you know why? Everybody hand in the cookie jar, and everybody getting under the table money.
Yeah.
And everybody getting under the table bids and deals, and that is why they don't care. And your people don't laugh up in their face. They be in the food store and in the mall, and I just look at them, I say, you're all demons.
All right, I gotta take some other calls, all right?
What is your end game? What we can do we need to rush Parliament. What's going on?
The end game is we need to rush the polls. Now, we're going to continue to agitate in Parliament, but we need to rush the polls. We have to get them out. All right? Bahamians are not showing the appetite to want to come out and get locked up, to come out and protest. All right? And we can't force them to come out. What we have to do is organize and go back to the polls with a vengeance. All right?
The international community, because there's teeth you vote, and there's teeth. See how they do.
We have to flood it so much that their stealing can't work. We'll talk about all that in the near future. We're gonna have some more rallies, some more town halls. We got to educate the people. A lot of people don't know what's going on. We have to educate them. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. You're live. Okay, we lost that call. 803-5995. The line is open now. 803-5995. How do you feel about what you just heard? So the lines. Good evening, you're live. Good evening, you're live.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is Kareem. I'm trying to call. I'm doing this to Mr. Again.
I'm good. How you doing?
Okay, I'm just listening as always. What really sparked me to call was, hearing these non-Bahamians, I guess, express how they feel in terms of this government. And me and you as candidates who observe these things, we kind of nightmares. But it's so simple. Bahamians are like, I want to talk to the adults. Like, I'm 40, I want to talk to everybody over 40. Maybe talk about what do we need to do, rush Parliament. No, we don't need to rush Parliament. What every constituent in the community who is discussed need to do is get together, and the majority makes a decision on what happens next. It makes no sense for my Bahamian people to talk about violence and talk about Russian Parliament and all this type of thing when we know there's laws that govern our elections and our constitutional government. Majority rule is just democracy. We ain't a Republican yet. So, get everybody who is disgusted, see if there are enough people that they now say, let's get the members of Parliament out. We have a rapist sitting in Parliament allegedly. I saw Adrian Francis in Parliament. He had all of his privates out in the internet giving letters to Halkias. Halkias is a man who lost his seat. And if we go back to the declaration, Halkias was, his expense was greater than his income. But the nation, he knew was idle luck, Sabas, he said I was the greatest during the election. But Halkias, who now have a government job, they have saved his home, was unable to even pay his mortgage because his income was far less than his expense. And they say I was the breakers. No, Halkias is the breakers. Halkias is the one who implemented on the people in 2015. Halkias is the one who keep taxing the people to generate money for the country. And he don't have a seat. But he have a major position in our country. So I said to the Bahamian people, stop complaining. study and know what you need to do. There's something called a Parliamentary Act. Read, and then get together. Stop arguing amongst yourselves. Get together and then follow procedures. But all this crying about what they done, they stealing, you all don't know that you have enough facts. Stop fighting amongst yourselves. Be ready to talk and point out these corruption and talk on these people, and let's get elections, and so we can get the right people like myself and whomever else you all decide us in Parliament, so we can make a difference. That's all I have to say, sir.
All right.
People crying. That shit don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Get on your bus. Find who is the majority. If you want the PNP going, get them out, because we are the country. We are the country. They be in Haiti.
All right.
The Bahamas as Bahamians.
Thank you for your
So get
call.
off your bus and get it done.
All right. 803-5995 is the number you can call in. 803-5995 is the number. You heard a video that is pure treason by these Haitian immigrants, and we have more. There's another video that I'm going to play for you now and talk through it of more treason. All right, and this is the heard earlier of the Prime Minister. We got to walk through this because I warned all of you before election that this man was going to do this. I warned everyone that he told me that everything that I was saying about the sovereign wealth fund, the carbon credits, everything is true. Yes, every Bahamian could be a millionaire, but you cannot give it to them. He said that they will not need you. All right? They will not need you. I see some clown on there saying Lincoln being is a Haitian on our feed. Listen, don't make me block you. There's nothing wrong with being Asian, but I am not Asian. All right? I am purebred Bahamian to my bones. All of my bone marrow is Bahamian. Just so you know that. I'm a Auckland's bean. Hannah Hasty Times. Auckland's Crooked Island bean. My father grew up in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island. The Beans were a bunch of brothers who were sailors who migrated to Rumkey and Andros and other places. All right, to those Andros beans, they Auckland's beans too. I am a Auckland's bean, Crooked Island bean. I am a Cat Island Poitier. All right, and Poitier, you know, Asian name, that's French. I ain't find not one Poitier in Haiti. I went to the registry to see what I could find. Of course, there was earthquakes. They had much to do, but I ain't see not one Haitian in Haiti. All right? I am a roll bow from Exuma. Get yourself together. Rollville, Barrett Harry. That's where I'm from. All right? All Bahamian. Good evening, you're live.
Good afternoon, good evening, Mr. President.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I am awesome.
I called in to say, I read the reaction this evening.
Yeah.
And one nation, man, these can also buy only two parties. That's fair for them in the PLP. I had stuck on them with my pressure. I nearly bring my pressure up. And to all Bahamians, all the legal 70, they jump up on me, two of them stick on me for that shit. I say, you see what you wrong with you? Man, let me tell you, I nearly flipped. And not only that, just like how you say now, how somebody on the line saying you are shit. You was like shit. Guess what? He was trying to convince me I come from Haiti. That's how he was carrying on, saying, you probably, you're generated, you can't stand, you was Haitian. No, I know Haitian. You was Haitian, not me. And man, Mina had it out. Three of them to me one. And I stick on them.
And that's exactly what we got to do.
Being the people, you all wake up. You know what? And I tell him, I say, all those documents is fraudulent. I say, because you all cannot vote in this country. So we can't even let them go to no poll. We
We need to do something with that. Where they can see they cannot move. Let them go back to Haiti. That will be for us, for our country, not them.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. The Haiti people wake up, please, in the name of Jesus.
All right.
Please, in the name of Jesus. If you haven't waited to get that, be there for God. Please, let's wake up. Let's get that stinking roaches out of there, man.
Thank you. See you later. All right. 803-5995. Yeah, they put a list out of names. I see someone just mentioned it on social media with all these names that they said Haitians. Those names are not Haitian. There are some names there that are French, but they haven't. They even have Williams there. That's no. All right. But some of the names are French, but they're not Haitian names. All right. And so there are names that, not because they sound French, means that they're from Haiti. There are names like, we had someone who was running in our last election for us in South Beach, who was Emmanuel, but that's not French Emmanuel, that's very American, actually Jewish, like Rom Emmanuel in the United States. And so this has nothing to do with Haiti. Don't let them trick you. They even had Bain on their list. You know Bain's in Haiti. Good evening, you're live.
How you doing, sir?
I'm awesome.
Yes, Prime Minister of the Bahamas.
Thank you, man.
I have a question I have for you.
Yes.
I'm a civil, and so therefore I am going to choose my words very wisely. But I would like to, apparently from what I'm seeing from observation, we don't just have a illegal immigrant situation. We don't just have in this country a situation where they're stealing from the federal, not to get into natural resources and things of that nature. But we also have a major problem in this country of corruption.
Yes, that is the only problem we have.
Yes, so it's corruption. It speaks from both parties, FNM and PLP, has been happening for a long time. And I can tell you, I am a civil servant, and I can tell you that both parties have seen victimization to the top, from the top levels, trickling right down. And like I said, I don't want to go down too much, but I just would like to know, as when you are the prime minister of this country, how do you intend to deal with the corruption in the various governmental institutions? I could call names, but I don't think I have to, because you are a former police officer. You know exactly what goes on. Basically, I'm sure you know what goes on basically in all of the law enforcement agencies and even in other agencies at large. Corruption has been very, very rough in this country. I'd like to know how you plan to tackle the corruption issues that plague our nation in this country.
Corruption is easy to deal with. Corruption starts at the head. So when you get rid of the corruption at the top, a lot of the corruption that happens is people following instructions that they get from what they call up top, even in the police force. When the police come and do their nonsense, they say, man, this comes straight from up top. At BEC, the man, this instruction comes straight from up top. And people, have a servant mindset. No one is willing to stand up for what is right. Even a lot of police officers. And so, as they did in Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, he said they focus on corruption with the politicians first, with those at the top of the chain. And when those people at the bottom saw what was happening, those at the top, the corruption was over. Listen, once the people in these government ministries realize that there's a new sheriff in town and that corruption foolishness is done with, then no one trying to be the one to get themselves in trouble. Bahamian scary. We ain't want to be the one to get locked up. When they know the new regime is in town, we don't have time to mess around. And so that's how we're going to end that corruption. There's going to be strict enforcement because we don't want to mess this up for anyone. And the reason there's no corruption in Singapore and Dubai and these kinds of places is because everyone is benefiting from the country working right. See, you don't need corruption if you can go to the passport office and get your passport within 24 hours. What you need to pay off someone for? All right, the place just works. If we have government agencies that just work, we won't need corruption. You have to pay off nobody. All right? And so we are going to have a country that just works. All right? When you go to license your car, you don't have to go stand in a line. All right? You go and you go online and you register your car. Your car is in our system already. And we send your license straight to you, to your doorstep. one of the things we're going to talk about this when we talk about urban transformation. Every single house is going to be numbered properly with Google. You're going to be able to put in an address in the Bahamas and Google that address, not just following a WhatsApp or Google location. You're going to be able to actually type it in and it actually works. All right. And you're going to get mail to your houses. All right. So that you can get your car license and whatever it is goes straight to your house. It just works. Go online. No more standing in line to license your car. You will go to a licensed mechanic who will give you a proper road worthiness of your car. All right, and if he does any corruption, he will not do business again in this country ever again. So you can go to him and pay him off to get no license, because then his business will be finished. And once they see the enforcement, persons won't do the nonsense. But that way, we can end all the standing in line and having to pay somebody to get this done and that done. No, man. Let's just have a country that works, man. And all of us who've lived in other countries and see how things just work, when you come back home, it's like you want to pull your hair out. And this is change we need. Thanks for your call, man.
Hey, man, blessings to you.
All right, blessings to you too. It just takes the willpower to get this done, man. That's all it takes, the willpower to get this done. End this corruption, man. We need a country that works. They intentionally keep the country broken so that they can make this money on the side. All right? We got to end this, man. Now, let's listen to Brave Davis and all of his nonsense. I hear this man voice.
Unfortunately, the populist voices out there have really sort of skewed this question of sovereign wealth fund. If you go to the genesis of this is basically
populist voices out there. He's talking about Lincoln Bean. You know they're afraid to call my name. Populist voices out there. Thank you for the description, Philip Davis.
When major oil finds in these small jurisdictions with populations of less than 1 million, take for example the Kuwaiti sovereign fund.
Listen, I can't listen to this man for another 6 minutes. Listen, I will pull my hair out trying to listen to this corrupt man, his shaky voice, and his lying and his deceiving. I can't do it. He just doesn't want you to benefit, and he is showing you that. And he took your sovereign wealth fund from you. That's what's going on. I can't listen to him. All right, I'm sorry. I can't do it. All right, he's trying to say that we need to find out what the resources going to take time to get into it and this kind of stuff. I mean, who does this man think he is talking to? It's going to take time to get into the natural resources, and eventually he might give you some tax breaks, but we got to find out exactly what it is we're doing first and all kind of nonsense. And listen, man, Philip Brave Davis, you told me you knew about the natural resources, that you was the Minister of Works, and you know how long this thing been going on. You told me that we've been benefiting from the natural resources. The natural resources, this has been going on from in the 50s. You told me that, Philip Brave Davis. All right, let's stop playing games. They've been mining our natural resources from King Hatchet was a hammer. All right, they've been mining our natural resources. Listen, we are not fools anymore. Now, if you say these populist voices, you should know that we are awake. We ain't fooling for this nonsense no more. You don't know that even America did studies of the Bahamas. And they know exactly what is going on. They studied our aragonite. That everything was studied. You know exactly what's going on. You don't have time to play games. Stop messing with our money, Philip. Stop messing with our money. Bahamians hurting, and you all have an opportunity to change all of that, to end all of that. No Bahamian has to hurt again. None. No, not one. But you all playing around with what belongs to the Bahamian people. And this is what is angering us. All right, Philip Brave Davis, we got the documents. All right, there was a time in the old generation, they never saw these documents, so they didn't know what was going on. Philip Brave Davis, see here? See here, this is documents. What is this? Bahama Chemicals Limited, lime license, that's limestone. It's documents. 1957. So from 1957 to now, y'all ain't know what natural resources we got here. Y'all don't know how y'all can make us benefit from our natural resources. This 1957 on this document. Look at this. Look at this. Huh? Listen, we this isn't our grandfather's generation. You know, look where we had to go to get this. United States of America, New York, across the Bahama Islands. Look at this. I mean, disgraceful. Right? And this is signed by Wallace Groves. All right, this is the original document. You see no copy. This is the original. See there? Wallace Groves, the criminal who bought out Grand Bahama. Listen, man. Listen, all we got is documents. I can spend the next couple hours showing you all these documents, but all we got is documents. We got all the documents. We even got the Sandy Keys with your best friend Hubert Alexander Ingram just signed. All right. Let me show you all this. Let me pull this down. All right. We have the documents. That's why y'all talking about this, because y'all know we have the proof. So we don't have time to be playing around with y'all. Y'all better give us what belongs to us. We don't have no time for other discussion and talking about what will happen in the future and what needs to happen. You know what? We into that. Good evening, you live. Good evening, you live.
Yes, okay, Mr. Ben, I have one more point I want to make. It's in my mind.
Go ahead.
You're talking about this corruption and how they steal our money. The biggest way they did it was with this NIB. NIB called me today. I asked them a few questions in my assessment as a candidate. I disclosed who I was. I told them I'm investigating. Also, I'm a participant as an NIB contributor. As a business owner, they expect me to make contributions because it's for my benefit and my pension. However, I say, you don't have a system to even tell me if the amount of money that's on my account is actually what is in cash. Two, you need to give me a breakdown of who spend my money. For my money can't be there because over COVID, I tried to claim, I didn't even claim. No benefit. And so I say to them, I am not involved with the money that they spent during COVID. For the people who knew that they didn't have no money from NIB to even accept or receive no monies. So they want to receive money, they need to put that money back. It's not their money if they never put money in NIB. And secondly, NIB need to come forward and give the Bahamian people a proper ledger or financial breakdown over the last 20 to 30, 40 years, however, to the creation of NIB. What and how the NIB money was used, which government took money out, and which government didn't pay the money back. And Philip Brave Davis, with his board head, he better understand, I ain't paying not a dollar to NIB, not an increase to NIB, until the government and NIB explains why is there a shortage in money. If I put money in a rock, every time I get paid for a week, where the money going?
The government keeps the money, buying properties, including Mr. Arana mansions that their family had, including one of the mansions was what they were just going to use for the house of the prime minister. They was buying derelict buildings for $6 million. They was funding buildings. They funded Cable Bahamas with our money, Alive, all kind of things.
Cable Bahamas. It's been still in Sydney. I learned that when I went to Las Vegas a few years ago. And the content licensors tell me that they're trying to figure out how come the Bahamian government does not penalize people that are stealing their signals.
Don't forget, Hubert Ingram's daughter was married to one of the founders of Cable Bahamas, and that's one of the reasons he didn't have the money, so they took our money, NIB, to make him a multi-million-dollar company. All right, but I gotta run. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, man. NIB is a Ponzi scheme. As simple as that. It is a Ponzi scheme. Nothing else. All right, so here's the Ocean Key deal that I've went over with you several times. This Ocean Key deal was really about treasure. They talk about the treasure at the bottom of our sea in this Ocean Key deal. I'll probably do an expose on this soon. But this is the Ocean Key deal here, and all of this is in here, and this is where they gave away our aragonite for $2 a metric ton. $2. And here's where it's signed by Hubert Alexander Ingram. Hubert Alexander Ingram. Yep. Signed over days before election. All right. To his people. But this is the kind of country we're living in. So from Ingram signed this to now, you mean tell me y'all don't know what natural resources we have? Listen, man. Bahamas, they play in y'all. Please educate your family and friends. Please get the word out. They play in y'all. Educate your family and friends. They know exactly what is going on. They know what they've been up to. They know that they've been raping and robbing us. I just heard some thunder just now. We're gonna have some good pea soup weather tonight, some good snuggling weather for y'all tonight. All right, but we know about the document that was released in the House of Assembly by Mr. Vaughn Miller, who has disappeared. Listen, man, if y'all do a whole ministry of natural resources, y'all also playing with us, man. Y'all could have played with our Grammy like that, but not with us. Huh? Not with us. We're not having it. This the document that Vaughn Miller released in the House of Assembly. It's the document. We got another document to drop you all on Sunday. The government is trying to bring more taxes and tax the regular people. The bill is already there. It's for consultation with right now. They're about to tax y'all even more. They're about to break y'all back. We're going to release that. It's the document. $5.4 billion worth of our limestone. We're not our country. From just one company. Yeah, documents. So brave. Y'all, from this time to now, y'all couldn't figure out what to do to get money. From this time to now, we know all the ships where they go in. Anyway, you know what? It's time to fight, y'all. It's time to fight. So you heard him talk about the populist voices, but of course he couldn't say that we are telling any word of lie. He talked about these other countries where they're benefited. He tried to talk it down and make it sound like it's supposed to go to help build the economy. No. The purpose of the sovereign wealth fund was not to do any government works and infrastructure, etc. The purpose of the sovereign wealth fund was first and foremost to benefit the people. Let me make sure this man knows this. The purpose of the sovereign wealth fund was first and foremost to find a way for the people to benefit from their natural resources that's being used, that's being exploited. That was the purpose of it. And so, yes, some of them initially gave benefits like free electricity and all this kind of stuff. And you've seen the videos over and over. You know, how much more we got to show that? Brave Davis knows that every Bahamian can be wealthy. Brave Davis told me before election he is not going to let that happen. He said he's old school. And you only can beat him if he did that. You got to keep the people under control, is what he said. And so there are some people out there saying that, oh, Lincoln Bay, and see why they're going to do the same thing as all these governments do is talk and come in and they still don't do what they're supposed to do. You've only had one government. You've had PLV and FM, that's one government. They've been flamming you. And that discourages you. Because you thought you was getting another government. You never had another government. You've had the same people over and over. And so let me tell you quickly why we're going to be different. The reason the PLP and FNM don't do no different is because they are benefiting from things the way it is. They own the gas companies that benefit from BEC, the oil companies. They own the generation to BEC now. Focal does. They are now selling electricity. That's why your bill's so high. They have the companies that are getting money from the contracts that the government have. They have companies that's connected. They have the companies that using our crown land to build housing on to make money. Then they make it sound they building new homes. Look how we build homes to the people. No, you build homes and you use our crown land free to make money off it. And that's how you're raping us and making it sound like you're all doing something good. They are benefiting. They have the companies that are benefiting from governing the way it is, whether it's the oligarchs or the PLPs and their oligarchs, etc. That's why things will never change under them. I do not own any companies that will benefit from the rape and rob of the Bahamian people. We are not connected to their system. We will do differently. So they benefit from things the way it is. The only way for us to benefit, because we don't have no companies benefiting, the only way for us to benefit by delivering to you what we promise, I'm going to come to the phone lines right now. The only way we get strength is by delivering to you. That's the only way we get strength. Because when we deliver what we promise in benefits from the natural resources, when we deliver to you free water, free electricity like they have in these other countries, when we deliver that, that's where we get our strength. Not by not delivering to you. They don't deliver to you because they benefit by not delivering to you. Us delivering is where we're going to get our strength. Get it? I hope you see the difference. Good evening, you're live.
President, how are you?
I am awesome.
Great. Just listening to that video referencing Citadel Air. It sounded like they were saying, or the lady was saying, that her company, being an agency, they making X amount of dollars per person or per head, providing all of these services. And it sounded as though she said they like kind of undercover with paying back because they only have like a certain window, and so they're gonna going above that window, so that means they're clear, they don't have to pay back. And it's not like she said she's working, she don't work from out of an office, she's working from home. So it's not like they're making all of this money, but the Bahamian government ain't making no benefit from all of this money that they making under the table. It's not like this business very shady. So my question is, how do we get this company audited?
Well, like I said, we need everyone to call about the company that it wasn't a lady, it was a man that was talking. We use artificial intelligence to disguise the voices because the person who did this thing, he was afraid that they would come back after him. So we need them to investigate every single company that was named, every person that was named. All right?
Okay, but I put that out there. Citadel Air needs to be audited. Because it makes no sense. They're making all this money, and we, Bahamians, getting taxed, and they making all this money from their business and not paying back.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
No. It's just corruption. And then every time this government comes to power, it's the same corruption. And they fool you to make you think, oh, go with Brave, it's going to be different. Like, seriously? And so next what they can say, go with Pentide, it's going to be different. Or go with Chester, it's going to be different. It's going to be no different. It's going to be worse.
I'm COI all the way.
Thank you.
All the way.
Thank you. Spread the word. Don't get tired in your good doing. You got to evangelize.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later. All right. I think that's it for the day. That's it for the day. Um, uh, we showed you a lot today. There's some more I wanted to show you, but I think I'm gonna just leave it there for today. Yeah, this man talking about solutions to Haiti and nothing, no solutions to the Bahamas. All right. And about this sovereign fund thing, his trick is now, all the money must go to the consolidated fund. We can't give it to the people. Jesus. If that's what y'all want to take, then so be it. We're going to continue with our shadow ministers. We're going to continue with our shadow ministers on Sunday. We're going to go live again on Sunday. We're going to continue. We'll have another shadow minister up for y'all to hear what the real plans are in this country. All right, and so we're looking forward to seeing all of you. Enjoy your weather. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. We're going to make some more announcements coming up soon. Just stay tuned. We love you. We're fighting for you. We're fighting for your children. Don't get distracted with these people and their, little crackerjack things that they're doing. We don't have time to waste. We got to save this country. We have to save this government. Pay attention to what's going on. Any information you have, call, send information, WhatsApp it to us. Make sure the whole Bahamas knows what's going on. Be blessed. Be safe. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. We're going to pick a fight. Make sure you're there. Now, we need you to go to our office and join the party. We need you to fund us. This takes money to get this done. We have GoFundMe online. You can go to our website and use Send Cash. You have to fund the movement. That's the only way this can get done. This is a movement of the people. Don't just say you support. You have to support with your finances to get this done. And so please remember, take the time and get that done. This takes human's effort, but we are putting in the sacrifice to make this happen. All right? Please, and most of all, I see the comment from this person there. We need your prayers more than anything else. We are fighting a war like you can never, an unseen war. Listen, if you're a prayer warrior, keep us in your prayers. If you are financially able, support the movement. If you're able to physically be there, make sure you're there. Thank all of you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you next time. I'll leave you again, as always, with some videos that will make this whole thing make sense. We dedicate this video to Philip Brave Davis, who don't know the value of what we got. That's one too long. We'll go with this one.
This may be the best citizenship in the world, and they all have it. Because of this card, they get free land, free education, free weddings, free hospitals, and even a free funeral. It's the citizenship of a country in the Middle East called the United Arab Emirates. This is what life is like for citizens from the Emirate of Dubai. And because the city is so generous, they get the craziest benefits I have ever seen. Are you ready for this? When you are born, your parents pay nothing. Your delivery and checkups for the next 9 months are all free. Then you grow up and you go to school. Local school in Dubai is free! And so are universities, because Dubai will pay for you to get a degree.
I studied at Zayed University and New York University, both for free.
Who's gonna pay for that?
The government.
Then you get married. If you can't afford the wedding, you get $20,000 to throw a wedding. And after marriage, every local Dubai family gets this: free land. Did you get free land?
Yes.
Did you get free land?
Yes.
Did you get free land?
Sure, yes.
And if you cannot afford the home, then you get a grant to build it for free.
I also can't afford building a house. I can get a 0-interest loan on housing.
Zero?
Zero. If you need to go to the hospitals are free. And if you need surgery that's not available here, they will fly you to another country to get treatment.